Greetings, I'm Barrett and welcome to Meet Me at the Table. Today we're going to be continuing our playthrough of Middara. That's right, we're jumping back into Middara. It has been way too long since I've had this game on the table, and I apologize for not bringing it back sooner. Just recently I made a list of games that I've played that I'd like to get back to, and I've made a list of reasons why and why not, and actually Middara there was no why not. So this is the reason I need to come back to Middara. We are going to be playing, I'm hoping to play a lot of that this month. This is going to be the October month, this is going to be the month of Middara. Normally you think of horror games and things of that nature, but there's so many other channels doing that. We're gonna play Middara. That's right, we're gonna jump back into this game. Now I'm gonna kind of do a when last we met kind of thing because it has been a while. We're in the middle of a side quest with Padrock. He has joined our group and we are going to be continuing that mission. Also, since the last time we played, the Middara is now a 1.2 version, and with that I upgraded all of our equipment and our abilities with that, and because of that some of the things had to change. So I'm going to quickly go through our characters and what we've done differently based on the 1.2 updates, and then after that we are going to dive into the game. We're going to continue our side quests and get through Padrock's quest and see if we can help him out. And if you're excited to do that, then I need you to finally come back to Middara with me and meet me at the table. Hello, good morning. Open up your eyes. Hello, good morning. The magic's still inside. Never loved you more than I do now. Living in a sentimental city, right next to an evil town. Hello, good morning. Open up your eyes. Hello, good morning. Looking at Rook, not much has changed for him except for the fact that I redid some of his weapon or spells, I should say. I gave him Courage Stifle as opposed to one of the other ones we had. I know this kind of changes up a little bit of his experience points, so we will deal with that when we get to any the shop or train type areas. The items and things he has not changed very much. I don't think it changed at all, but this one did change. I did give him this. This allows him to cast a spell 6 to deal magic damage equal to 2 times my total armor value. And as a single combat die of your choice, you can use a printed one equipped on a shield or a blunt weapon. It's considered to be a spellcasting upgrade. So our shield that we have is going to be able to give us that teal upgrade, but we still have the orange upgrade for our casting die when it comes to using something like Fever. Speaking of what we have over here, we do have our same 2 weapons. We do have our same core and our same armor that has our bulky on it, which is giving us even more armor, to a total of 4. I'm going to tell you right now, nothing on Nightingale has changed. She has exactly what she had back when I originally started. She does keep her sentient bodysuit because I didn't have to buy that. We found this. We found that actually, which is pretty awesome. But I have a Life Grasp, Root the Mind, Gore Shot, and she has the infection that she picked up. So none of this has changed. So if you're interested in seeing exactly what those are, please check out my other videos, but you're also going to see them in action in this playthrough. And of course, she is built to deal magic. She does have a BA leather jacket, a defense core, but she has her inscribed casting rod, which is going to be awesome. She's got a rod. It is a casting upgrade of teal, and when you fail to affect a target with a spell, I can add an energy token to this, limit 2. I can exhaust this when determining the force of a spell, and I may discard any amount of energy tokens from this card to add +1 to your roll. So I can do that. And exhaust, I can as a special as a stamina point before the target of one of your spells makes a conviction check. In addition to the effect of the spells, I can deal teal damage to them. So it's really cool. I love these rods. These are really, really good. Moving into Remy, we have upgraded a little bit of her stuff here. The things we've really worked on is her abilities here. She has Helmer Helm. She had that before, but I switched out some of these. I switched out one of them for Onslaught here. I can make an attack which gains follow-up, make an attack which makes follow-up, make an attack. But of course, we have to hit in order for that thing to keep on attacking. And I've also grabbed Gigas Grip because Gigas Grip has really changed, and so I want to make sure we use this. It says gains Gigas Grip. This discipline allows you to equip 2 one-handed or 2 melee weapons as if they were one-handed. I can equip two-handed weapons as if they were one. Now the rest of the stuff she has is the same. And of course, you'll notice that they're not starting with all their max hit points. Some of them have takes damage. Actually, Remy is doing pretty good for damage. I think she actually has all her health, but some of the other characters have taken some damage. Here's what we have equipped on Remy. These are the same that she's had before. We have a top-heavy axe. We bought that. It's pretty exciting. But we also bought this scimitar, and I didn't really know what to do with this thing. And so now we have them both equipped, and we can use them. Now, the way Gigascript works is that I can use the abilities on all of these weapons that I have with me. So I could exhaust to use this or exhaust to use this as I'm going. The only thing is you can only choose one of these type of dice in order to roll. And if anyone had a black die, you'd have to use that black die. Now, the deal with the Gigascript is there's so many awesome things that go along with it, is it has a whole section in the rulebook. If you're interested in seeing how that works now in the 1.2 rules and you don't have those rules, you can check out my video about how 1.1 has upgraded to 1.2 and what the changes were. I do have a video for that, and I'll make sure to throw that in the description of this video so you can check that out if you're interested in seeing exactly all the stuff that goes along with Gigascript, because there's quite a bit. But just know we're going to be using two of these suckers, two huge giant weapons. It'll be awesome. Our last character is Zeke. Zeke is with us. Now, Zeke does have his accessories still, because I decided, since the other two were worth 30 bucks each, I decided to sell both of those for, I pretend we didn't buy those for 60, and we just bought this quiver instead for 70. I'm sure I had a few other gold laying around a little bit, but we're just going to give him back his quiver, but the other accessories are gone, and we're going to kind of call that for whether or not, for the amount of stuff we've had to buy and sell in this game so far. I could be plus or minus a few gold based on things I could have or could not buy. Not exactly sure. We're going to continue on, and we're going to have fun, because that's what it's all about. Having fun is the name of board games. We're going to continue on with the rest of his stuff. He still has the same stat: kill the messenger, precise strike, and down the masses. I have to admit, I did have to switch out. One of the reasons I had to switch out Remy's stuff is that she used to have an ability that was a level 1 ability that actually has now become a level 2 ability. That was one of the reasons I had to switch out some of her stuff. But his all stayed the same when it came to 1, 2, and 3, so I really like what he has, so we're going to continue on. You'll never guess, but he is a ranged attacker. He still has Bearer of Justice, which is an awesome name. His core did get flipped in the last adventure, in the last encounter, and he does have his occult t-shirt. Other than that, our characters are all set to go. Let's check out the adventure we're going on. The exit we chose has moved us into a team split apart. It says a short way down the cramped pathway into the tree, the ground gives way, sending you careening down into the cavern below. As you sit up, you realize that you've been separated. It seems that when the passage cracked open, it spilled the party into two different spots. The sounds of monsters can be heard from all directions. Hopefully, coming down here wasn't a terrible idea. You'll see the map set up shortly. Everything you see here is already ready to go. The only thing that you're not going to see is these two start spaces. So we have to see how these are going to play into effect for this mission. Our win condition is if an adventurer ends their turn on the blue exit. If so, we'll get the reward and continue to treacherous revolt. Of course, our lose condition is if all adventurers are defeated, which will go to Shyless Would Kill Me on page 107. We do have an achievement. It's called Sickle Slaughterer. If an adventurer defeats 3 cave sickles in a single turn, read the following hidden text. That's not going to happen. But if it does, that'd be sweetness. We also get special encounter rules, Padrick Weaponsmith at Dragon Arms. During this encounter, use Padrick's initiative and intelligent combatant cards. Padrick follows the rules of an adventurer even though he uses a command combatant card. We also have Following Your Lead. After dealing the initiative cards, move Padrick to the back of the initiative track. I believe that was very similar to the last mission we did. We also have separated. There are 2 different starting zones. Players must randomly determine which adventurer, except Padrick, starts on which starting zone. The players roll 2 purple for each adventurer. The 2 adventurers with the highest roll start on tile UM7. The other 2 are going to start on tile UM5. And of course, we have a springy cave sickles. Why not? Make things more interesting. During this encounter, cave sickles are able to jump 3 spaces instead of 2. The loot level for this is going to be common. Here is the command combatant card for Padrick. He is a weaponsmith at Dragon Arms. He is an artificer, and it says Padrick starts with each encounter with 4 energy tokens. These tokens may be used to spend for the actions listed below. So here are our energy tokens. They look like this. One of the best parts about Middara is they actually do label their tokens on the other side. Thank you so much for that. I love it when they do that. I'm going to put all 4 tokens right there. He also has stamina just like we do. He starts with 3, so I'm going to give him 3 stamina points. And just like I said with our other characters, those are all going to be considered 1 stamina, every token you see here. So even if it is on a 3, do remember these are all going to be single tokens. We'll put the other 2 over here because the most he can have is 5, unless of course something changes during the mission or anything like that. He has Royal Guardian. Whenever Padrick is dealt damage by an opponent, he gains 1 energy token to a limit of 4, so we might as well use these. He can use the star during anything to be able to allow him to gain a dodge token. That's the star up here on the dice rolls. He can spend those to gain a dodge token. Now for 0, he can use move like the shadows, and he can move 2 spaces. The movement does not provoke break attacks, but it is going to exhaust that power. Instead of turning cards, I use these tokens, so I'll just be putting this down on top of there to show that that is exhausted. Also, he is able to use a vitality drink, spend 1 energy token, and you or an adjacent ally heals 3. Now these are the ones that are going to spend him stamina. He can do a magic balm, which is an energy token and removes an effect from an ally within sphere of influence. And sphere of influence is the 4 spaces around you. We'll see that in action as we play through the game. The next one is Artificer's Throwing Knives. I can roll a purple die, and whatever I get on there is going to do damage to an enemy. This purple die only goes up to, I believe, 7 is the highest, and 1 is the lowest, so it's not the greatest die on the planet, but that's okay. It also costs an energy token to do that. And of course, the last one is he could just spend 2 stamina to make an attack using 2 teal dice, looking for those to create some extra damage for him. I believe that is everything for Padrick. Now let's go into the game. And just like it said, we are going to have to roll our dice to see where we are going to be when it comes to our starting places. We'll roll for Remy first. Remy has got a 7, so I'm just going to grab a die with a 7 on it. I'm going to put that over onto her little board over there so I remember that. We'll go to Nightingale. Nightingale got a 9. I don't think anything has a 9, so I'm just going to put an 8 and just remember that it's a 9. We're going to check on Rook. Rook has got a 2. Why am I going to even, I'm going to use a die? He's going to end up on the on tile UM05. He's going to be on UM05. He's going to be over here. We'll place him where he's supposed to go over there. I don't think anybody's going to get lower than a 2. We got a 9 for Zeke, so that means Remy is also going to be with Rook, and Nightingale and Zeke, that's kind of fitting, are going to be over here on this tile together. So let's place them in accordance to the way our game board shows. We're supposed to put our 2 characters here and here. I'm going to put Remy right there and Rook right there, I think. And then the other 2 characters are going to be right next to Padrick here. I'm going to put him there and her there. I think that'll be pretty good. No, I lied. I'm going to switch that up a little bit. I'm going to put her there and him there. There we go, just like that. That'll be perfect. All right, now that we have our characters placed, let's check out our initiative track. Our initiative track is going to be made up of Padrick's card, our 4 characters, an Earth Loa, the Water Loa, and then our Cave Sickles groups 1 through 3 and 4 through 6. So we'll give these a good old truffle shuffle here, shuffle them up real good, and we'll place them out there and figure out who is going to be our first person going. Hopefully it's one of our characters. I would love to go before these things go. Our first one is Nightingale, followed by the Cave Sickles 4 through 6. Then we have Padrick, which will be going to the end. We have Zeke, we have Remy, then we have Rook, the Cave Sickles, the Earth Loa, and the Water Loa is going to be last. All right, that's actually a pretty good turn for us. And here's our board all set up. We have our initiative cards down here, our characters here. We have a Water Loa that is right there. This right here is going to be Cave Sickle Pack 1 through 3. This is Cave Sickle Pack 4 through 6. And that is our Earth Loa up here. There's a couple treasure tokens on the board. There is a totem. When we can have a line of sight to this, we will activate what that is according to the book. There's a blue marker here. We'll see what that is. Then we have our exit token up there. So let's start out with Nightingale. The first thing Nightingale is going to do is heal. She has the Sentient Bodysuit. This is different in the 1.2 than it is in 1.1. It says heal 1, and I can also heal X, where X is equal to the amount of additional stamina points you want to spend. I'm not going to spend anymore. I'm just going to heal 1, which will put me up to 10, which I will also place a little token there. If you notice, I kind of do health tracking a little bit different. The way I do it is just whatever my health is, I leave those on there, and I count up and down on the board. The next thing I'm going to do is spend 2 stamina points to be able to move. That's going to give me 6 plus 2, because whenever you spend an extra stamina point, you're able to gain 2 more movement, but you can only ever do 1 move action in a turn. So we're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, I don't even have to spend that. I can keep the extra stamina token. And actually, I'm going to use that to heal. So we are going to go to 11 health on her because I have a plan. We're going to cast Life Grasp and see if we can take out some cave sickles here. It says I can exhaust this and spend 1 stamina point to cast a spell 6 against up to 3 different opponents within Sphere of Influence. I will deal magic damage equal to the difference rolled on their failed conviction checks. After rolling to determine the force of this spell, I may deal yourself 6 irreducible damage to add 6 to the roll. Whew, that could be a lot of real bad damage to myself, but it might take out all 3 of these cave sickles. This is our last stamina point that we have, but that's okay. This is going to be a big shot. Hopefully we can do some good damage. We're going to use our inscribed casting rod. That gives us a teal die, and we're going to be casting Life Grasp. Wow, let's get a big number. Oh, I got 8. That's the best number. That's so good. I am actually going to take the 6 damage. I don't know if this is a great idea. I only have 11 health left, so I'm going to take 6 damage going to, what is it, 5? 5 plus 6 is 11. So I'm going to have 5 health left, but that's okay. I have 3 cave sickles in this Sphere of Influence, so I'm able to roll, to roll this, I can get all 3 of them with this. So right now, my casting value of this is 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 8 is 20. Oh my goodness, it's 20. Okay, we're going to go for the first cave sickle. First cave sickle is cave sickle number 4. It's going to be the bluish one. Let's see how he does. He got a 9 minus 20 is 11. He's going to take 11 points of damage. Oh my goodness. Now, of course, these horrible cave sickles have 12 health. So that one does have 1 health left. We'll put 12 or put 11 on his card, and we'll roll our next cave sickle and see how he does. He got a 4. That one's dead. We're going to take the green one off the board. He is dead. He's taken way more than he could hold. And the other one got a 6. That's not going to be enough. Our pink one is also off the board. We were able to kill 2 cave sickles and put the last one at 1 health. Only 1 health. I wish I had something that could do just 1 damage. But alas, I do not. So to recap here, we had 8 or 20 total, and then this character got, for example, 6. It only has 12 health, so 6 minus 20 is going to be a lot more than 12, so that's how those 2 have been dead. But sadly, this one on the board is alive, and it's actually its turn, and it's right adjacent to her. So it's going to make a ton of attacks. This could actually kill her in 1 shot. This might not have been my greatest plan, but oops. Life Grasp is exhausted, so we'll move over to Gore Shot. I can actually probably kill it with the other guy. I'm going to cast a spell 6, deal 2 magic damage. I could deal irreducible damage of 2 to deal an additional magic damage equal to 2 times your highest courier, which would be a level 3 times 2 is 6. I could do 6 damage, but this thing only has 1 health. I just have to get that spell to fire off. So we'll roll our casting die in, and I get 6 plus 8 again is 14. I get 14. I don't think this thing can roll 14. Its conviction is going to be an orange and a white here. It got a 4. Nope, took 2 damage. That's enough to kill off this cave sickle. That one is also dead. Because Nightingale is not only ridiculous, she was able to defeat an entire swarm of cave sickles. We're going to shuffle up our common loot deck. We're going to draw 1 card and see what we get. So we'll draw this one right here. We have found ourselves 5 gold. That's all they had. Well, I guess it's better than nothing. We'll put that into a pile. Now remember, all the gold that's accumulated during the game encounter will add up. And it's all communal gold that we can share amongst all of our players. And we'll put this deck aside and hopefully be able to use it again. And that was an absolute monstrous turn. I'm going to take a token and place it there to show that she has gone. I'll remove her card. Now, one thing I forgot to do is Patrick is supposed to go to the very back of the line here. So I'm going to move all these up, and Patrick has to go to the end. That was one of the conditions. So Zeke is going to go next. Now, Zeke is kind of stuck. There's not much he can do. There's a giant wall here in case I didn't explain how this board is. I know actually I didn't. This one right here, this is a huge wall. This wall extends all the way up into this other tile here. There's a huge wall here. There's a little bit of here, and there's another big wall right along here. He's standing kind of next to a water part there, and there's some hindering terrain here that we have to kind of get through. And every time you move through this, it's going to move out of it. It's going to cost you 2. Every time you move out of a space with a person, it costs you 2 movement, and you cannot stop your turn on a space with a person. He has a total of 7 speed because he has 6 normally, and he has his occult shirt, which gives him +1. So there's 7 that we can move ourselves. That'll cost us 1 stamina. We'll just move 1, 2, 3, since it's cost me 2 to get out of here. 4, 5, 6, 7, and in case you haven't noticed by the way I'm moving my characters, everything in this game is orthogonal when it comes to movement. When it comes to counting squares for a line of sight, or when it comes to sphere of influence, you can count diagonally. That's why 1, 2, 3, 4, that cave sickle was in her sphere of influence. Technically right now Patrick is in sphere of influence, but Patrick is not to them because of course it's blocked by this red here. So Zeke is done. He's going to be carrying over 2 stamina points into his next turn. That brings us to Remy next. Remy does have a few abilities. One, she can spend a stamina point to move 1 space in any direction, including diagonal. The other one is I can use this avian flight, which I'm allowed to use. She's able to fly when she moves, but she can only do it if she has more than half her health. And she does at this present time, but I don't think we're going to fly. For her turn, Remy's going to probably run in and smash this person. She's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 to right here, spending 1 of her stamina points. Then she's going to make an attack, and she can attack diagonally. She just can't, you just aren't able to move diagonally. So we're going to spend all of our stamina points to do this attack. I didn't mention this token up here. What that token does is an adventurer adjacent to the token may make an encounter action with a strength 12 check. If they pass, I can place a passage token. So it's a way to get through to this side if we wish to, and then we would remove this token to place that there. Having spent the stamina, we will attack with our top-heavy axe. It has a whole bunch of stuff it can do. Sadly, I don't have any stamina points to be able to do some of the really cool things, but that's okay. Now remember, with Giga's Grip, from what I understand, I can still use the abilities on this card as well if I wish to, but I don't think any of them are going to play into effect. My top-heavy axe is going to roll 2 teal dice, hopefully do some major damage. 8. 8 is terrible. 8 isn't even above the defense on this thing. Come on, I can do better than that. I have to be able to do better than that. I do have an ability called Hammer Helm. When making an attack with a melee weapon, if you have a 2-handed weapon equipped, you may reroll any dice in your current dice combat pool. We are going to do that because that was absolutely terrible. Come on, I can do better than that. Can't. Nope, yes I can. I get 8 again. Totally missed. Oh my gosh, I don't think I have anything else that can help me this time. She just came out of the gate and swung and got nothing but air. That was really sad. It's going to be Rook's turn. Hopefully Rook can do something a little bit better. The first thing Rook is going to do is he is going to cast Mage Armor. I'm going to exhaust that to allow him, or an ally within Sphere of Influence is going to gain Barrier. And I can reduce the stamina cost on this by 1 if I'm targeting somebody other than myself. And I'm going to be targeting Remy. So Remy is going to gain a Barrier token, which is going to increase her armor value by 1, meaning she will help her a little bit. Other than that, that's all he's going to do with his spells. The character that sadly is here, the Waterloa, is really good at stopping spells, but is in theory not too good against attacks, but apparently not, because she just totally, Remy just totally whiffed. I'm going to use 1 stamina point to move, and he'll move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I know he has the heavy tag on him, but remember that Rook is able to ignore the first instance of heavy that he has equipped, making so his speed does not change. I am going to attack now with my other 2 stamina points using my book here. So I'm going to attack with an orange, and I've also got my Maw of Warden, which means I'm able to use that teal die as well. So like I said, I do get an orange and a teal. Now sadly the orange is not as good as 2 teals in theory, and I got a 6. So wow, this guy can't hit. Nobody on this side of the pond can hit. Nightingale's got to go over pretty quick because she can do real good. I don't have really a way to reroll. I am going to exhaust this. If I exhaust this, I'm able to roll a black die, and that's going to do physical damage equal to the amount of shields I get. I got no shields. I got a skull. Okay, well, this is the B team over here. We need to get back to the A team. Maybe Mr. T and Murdoch and Hannibal and all of them can show up and save the B team over there, because I really need to find the A team. We're going to attack with our cave sickles, then the Earthlow is going to go, then the Waterlow is going to go, and finally Padrak's going to go. So lucky for us, we did get our first our entire group got to go. Sadly, our B team did not do as well as our A team, so we're going to have our cave sickles see what they do against our team here. Let's quickly take a look at the Cave Sickle card, just to remind everybody how this works. They do have immunity to poison, and they have immunity to movement point cost, and it's not increasing any of the terrain or allies or anything. This thing's going to skitter all over the place. It does have that hive mind ability, so the more of them within Sphere of Influence, the more damaging they're going to be able to do, and they're going to gain some extra defense. If there is an opponent adjacent, it's going to be able to make an attack against an opponent with the most damage. If there's an opponent within range 4, it'll make an attack, and if it can it move to an attack an opponent within range 4, it'll move up and attack. So let's go check out our first one. It's going to be the red one. Our red one is going to activate, and it says, is there an opponent adjacent? No. Is there an opponent within range 4? No. Can it move and attack an opponent within range 4? Yes, it can. These all have 6 movement. So it'll be able to move up to, be up to range 4 from the nearest opponent, then make a range 4 attack. And this one's going to move up 1, 2, 3, 4 to right there. It is now at 1, 2, 3, 4, range 4 to our characters. It will then prioritize, since there isn't anything about damage or anything like that, it just says the nearest opponent. They're both 4 spaces away, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. It is going to prioritize the person at the front of the initiative track, which is going to be Remy. So this one will be attacking Remy with 2 orange dice, but this one is in its sphere of influence, so the hive mind will kick in, attacking with a teal and an orange die. And before I roll the dice, there's actually this guy is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one is also in Sphere of Influence, so it actually has both. So there are 2 within Sphere of Influence, meaning it's actually going to roll 2 teal dice. Remy's defense is 8, so she's going to use this to dodge. Hopefully she can grab some more defense from this. She got herself 1, so her defense is 9. I guess 9's better than nothing. You get to roll 2 dice now, and we'll see how this goes. It got an 11, so that is going to be 2 over her total. So it's done 9, 10, 11, 2 points of damage. Looking at the symbols here, for each one of these, it's going to do an extra damage, so it's going to do 4 points of damage to Remy. Remy does have 2 sources of armor. She has her BA leather jacket, and she has her barrier token, so she's going to take only 2 points of damage. And the BA leather jacket actually allows us to reduce the physical damage dealt to by a melee attack by 2. This is not a melee attack, this is a ranged attack, so sadly I am going to take that too. Now, one thing I could have done against that Waterlow to see if I just didn't want it to go anymore, I could have used my fight drive, because once per encounter, I can just make an attack if I wanted to. But I'm choosing to save that because I'm guessing something else might be coming up. Next is going to be our purple Cave Sickle, which is right here. There's nobody adjacent. There's nobody within range 4. Can it move an attack opponent at range 4? Its speed is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It can't end its turn here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It can't end its turn there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can't, well, it could move over to here and potentially see Rook, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces, 5 spaces away to attack Rook. So it actually cannot perform any of the actions on the card, so it's going to stay right there. Lastly, we have the yellow Cave Sickle. This guy can do a whole bunch of stuff. Is there an opponent within range 4? Yes, there is. Name both these people are in range 4. 1, 2, 3. I can shoot both of those, I can shoot either one of those. It's going to shoot Remy because of, again, Remy is going to break the tiebreaker because her card is at the top of the initiative track. Now, just like the red one, the yellow one does have a sphere of influence to these 2, so it'll be rolling 2 teal dice against Remy. Let's roll these up and see how it goes. It got a total of 10. Remy does have a defense of 8. meaning that would beat her defense by 2. But I did forget a thing from the first attack and this one as well. And when you are drawing a line, if it goes through the green squares, that is going to subtract 1 from the attack. And if it's going through an ally square, it's going to subtract 1 from attack. So actually it's subtracting 2 from this attack. So instead of 10, I'm rolling an 8, which is still enough to hit Remy. But the amount of things on the die, it only has 1 shield. So it's going to do 1 damage, which will actually soak up the damage from the armor, will soak up all that damage. The previous attack from the red one eventually ended up doing 2 points of damage. Again, -2 from shooting through an ally and through a patch of green squares here, meaning I should have actually taken nothing from that attack because the 2 would have been negated by the -2 penalty that this enemy should have received. The yellow one has finished its first part of its attack. It's now going to move to be adjacent to the opponent with the most damage within movement range. Then it's going to make an attack followed up by the ability to try to poison them. Now, Remy has not taken any damage in this at all. She came completely into this combat without taking damage. Rook, on the other hand, has taken some damage. He is at 11. So this is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 to be adjacent to him and make an attack. So we'll see how this goes. Again, now 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the only one in Sphere of Influence. So it's going to be only attacking with a teal and an orange die. Rook has a total of 8 defense. Only 8 defense. 8 defense, only got a 7. So this thing totally failed. And because it is adjacent to Rook, I can choose to counterattack against this one. I'm going to exhaust this to counterattack. Whenever an enemy is unable to do damage once the final tally is done, you're able to spend a stamina point or 2 stamina points, or stamina points, sorry, to counterattack. It's located here on our list of standard actions. It's 2 to counter. When the attack deals no final damage, I can counterattack. If the attack was successfully dodged, I can reduce the counterattack by 1. So if I decided to dodge the attack, I'd only have to spend 1 stamina point. I don't have any stamina points, but that's okay. My ability on my core is allowing me to counter. So let's see how we do against that guy. I'm only rolling a teal and orange die, so we'll see how this goes. I got an 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 against its 10 defense. Now my dice are showing an 8 and a 5, and it's also showing 2 books and a star. So according to this, I will do 1, 2, 3 magic damage, along with the rest of my damage is going to be 6. So we'll put 6 damage up here on our yellow cave sickle, which means it's sitting at half dead. It is now the Earth Loa's card, and in turn, I should say, it is hulking. And if there's an area, is there an ally within Sphere of Influence without barrier? Another ally within Sphere of Influence gains barrier. Is there more than one opponent adjacent? No. Can it move and attack an opponent with reach 2? Its speed is 4. Absolutely not. So then otherwise move towards the nearest opponent. So it's going to move 4 spaces towards our characters. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's slowly coming towards us. Now that the Earth Loa has gone, we'll move over to the Water Loa and see what it can do. Funny enough, if you cannot take out a Water Loa, where standing next to it is your best bet. The first thing it has, of course, is H2O. It has Arcane and Elusive. When the Water Loa is not effective, so Elusive allows this thing to not be able to use any of the symbols on a die when being attacked, which is just ridiculous. When the Water Loa affects an opponent with a spell or hits an opponent with an attack, place a water token in the space. Is there a figure within Sphere of Influence with an effect? No, there is not. Oh, there is. Remove a negative effect from an ally within Sphere of Influence. Otherwise, remove a positive effect from an opponent within Sphere of Influence. Well, sadly, I do have a positive effect. I have a barrier token on Remy, so this is going to be discarded. I totally forgot to do that. Now it's going to say, is there more than one opponent adjacent? Now, normally, whenever you're able to finish a step on a card, that would end it, but notice this one says continue down. So after it removes the positive effect, it will continue down. Is there more than one opponent adjacent? Yes. Make an attack against the opponent with the most damage. So that again is going to be Rook. Then place water tokens in all adjacent spaces to the Water Loa. then move to the farthest space possible from any opponent. And Elusive is the one that's going to allow her to move through this water without taking break attacks, if I remember right. And Arcane is the one that allows her to remove all the different symbols on a die when being attacked. But she is going to attack us, and she's going to attack Rook with 2 orange dice. We'll roll our 2 orange dice, and I got an 8, which is enough to hit Rook, but it's not going to do any damage to him because of his defense. He's got 8. And he's got a total of 7, 8 defense. So this actually does hit him. Well, now that I think about it, it does actually trigger some of the abilities on this dice. This right here is +1 magic damage, and the other one is +1 to the attack roll. It's actually a 9, which still isn't going to do enough damage because he does have a lot of armor. But that magic damage is going to go through the armor. So if you look right down here, it does say shields give +1 magic damage. I can't do anything about that with my armor, so I am going to take one going to 10 points of damage. Now with her elusive ability, she is going to run from these people 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now she has to stay in water. She cannot leave the water space. And when she did move after the attack was done, she was supposed to place water next to all spaces adjacent to her, but there's already water or these impossible terrain, you can't do anything to those. So I didn't put any water tokens down because there already is water. Patrick is the only one left. I will place a token onto his card to remind us that he's activated. He's just going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 off of her. That's going to cost 2 stamina for him to do that movement. Now he's going to use one of his energy tokens. He's going to use the energy token to allow himself to use his vitality drink. I can spend that token so that you or an adjacent ally can heal 3. I'm going to heal 3 to Nightingale. 1, 2, 3, bringing her to 8 health. That's the end of the first round. We'll go into our next round. Having gone with everybody, we are going to clear all of our little tokens off of the cards that we have. Not only the narrative or initiative cards here, but also on our character boards. We're going to clear up all of those so that we have all our abilities ready to go again. Of course, unless they are a one-time use per encounter ability, then those are going to be kept until the end of the encounter. But I don't think I did any of those last time. All right, we're going to flip these initiative cards over, see what order we're going in. Oh, we got the Earth Loa first, then we got Rook. Oh, the Cave Sickles. Oh no, look at this. All the bad guys are going first this time. I guess the joke's on me. I went first last time. Now it's their turn to go first this time. Oh, this is going to be a brutal round. Okay, we'll see how this all transpires. We're going to start with the Earth Loa. But before we do, I also want to mention that all of our characters are going to be regaining 3 stamina. If they already have stamina, they're going to be gaining 3 stamina up to a maximum of 5. For example, Zeke has 2. He saved 2 from last time, so he's going to gain 3 more, getting up to 5. And of course, his maximum is 5, as you can see on his card here. This Earth Loa is super close for our characters. I was hoping this party would be able to go before this thing. Sadly, that is not the case. The Earth Loa's speed is 4, and if we look at the character itself, it has the hulking ability, and it says here, if there's another ally within sphere of influence without barrier, give it barrier. That's not going to happen. Is there an opponent with more than that one more opponents adjacent? No. Can it move and attack an opponent within reach 2? Yes, it can. It can move to be within reach 2 of the nearest opponent, then make an attack with reach 2, and then follow up push 3 and inflict paralyzed force 12. This is going to be absolutely horrible. So this character is going to move up 1, 2 spaces. So now he is at range reach 2 of both of these characters. So they could both are the nearest character. At this point, we're going to check the initiative track. Patrick is closer in the line. So Patrick is going to be the one hit by this Earth Loa. And if anybody's wondering what hulking does, hulking prevents this character from being moved by character abilities or currents, because this character is a huge giant pile of rocks. So opposing ally abilities and currents cannot move it for any reason. I'm going to spend one of Patrick's stamina points to dodge. So I'm going to roll all 3 dice, his dodge dice and the attack from the Loa itself. So I did get 4 on my dodge dice. That's absolutely out of control. So I got a 14. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 9, 10, 11. That's it. He only got an 11 against my 14. Now, if I wouldn't have dodged, I would have been hit because Patrick only has a 10 defense.
In a sad turn of affairs, Rook is next. This is actually not who I want to have go next, mainly because I was hoping that this thing might attack first. It might be able to miss, and I could maybe counterattack it, kill it, and then potentially do something with Rook on his turn instead of having to spend all of his actions to pretty much take out that Cave Sickle. But alas, we're here attacking this Cave Sickle. We're going to spend 2 stamina points to do it, and we're going to attack it with our Maw of the Warden and our Apocryphal Antiquity. I can't even say these words. Why do I even try? We're going to attack it with our Apocryphal Antiquity, which is going to give us an orange die, and then our Maw of the Warden is going to give us a teal die. So let's roll those up and see how we do against this Cave Sickle. We'll roll our dice up and see how it goes here. I got a 15. Oh, that's amazing. So I'm actually going to be 5 over the defense of the Cave Sickle, which is 10. So I've done 5 damage. This Cave Sickle has already taken 6. So this Cave Sickle is up to 11. It only has 12 health. And all of those things there are going to trigger different things that are going to give me more damage. So I have taken this Cave Sickle out. We'll remove this yellow one from the board. At this point, we're going to move Rook with the last of his stamina points, bringing his stamina point total down to 0 again. He used 2 to attack, and he's going to use 1 to move. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It costs 2 to move through every single piece of that terrain, and that's totally fine. I just want to get him out of the water because he can't dodge if he's in the water. Not that he's probably going to do too much dodging because he has no more... He has no more stamina points, but you never know. All right, so he's done with his turn, and we'll move on to our Cave Sickles 1 through 3. But before we do, there is one thing I forgot to do. When we did place out all our initiative cards, remember, Patrick is supposed to go to the back of the line. And when he goes to the back of the line, that means Zeke actually should have been the target for our water or Earth Loa. So the Earth Loa would have rolled an 11 against him, 8, 9, 10, 11, and he only has a 7, 8, but I would have dodged with him with his occult t-shirt, so that would have given him the dodge that I would have been able to roll. And just to make things easier, not to re-roll the stuff, he did roll that 4. So 4 plus the 7 is 11 plus 1 from our core is going to be 12. So we still dodge the attack from the Earth Loa, so nothing changes game-wise, but he's the one who should have had to be attacked instead of Patrick when the Earth Loa activated. Good news, bad news, these Earth Loas are all going to attack Rook, which he is good because he has lots of armor. Bad news is he also has less health than Remy. But we'll see how this all goes. The Earth Loa, or the Cave Sickles, we're going to start with the red one. The red one is going to be our first Cave Sickle to activate. We're going to check to see if there's an opponent adjacent. No. Is there an opponent within range 4? Yes, there is. We're going to make a attack at 4, then move to be adjacent to the person with the most damage, which will still be Rook even after the attack. And then it's going to make an attack follow-up, inflict poison. Well, I'm not going to be worrying about the poison attack because I do have this Sickle Shell Charm. It's a passive, which means I'm immune to poison. I actually got this from killing a bunch of sickles earlier in the game. So this one is going to make an attack and then move 1, 2 to be adjacent to Rook and be able to attack him with his attack. Next, we're going to activate this one. And when this attacks 1, 2, 3, 4, this one is still in the sphere of influence. So we're going to have 2 or 1 person in sphere of influence. So it is going to roll a teal and orange die twice for these different attacks that it's going to do. Next, we're going to have this one. This one is not able to get to him and attack with his range 4. So instead, it says, can it move and attack an opponent at within range 4? Yes, it can. It can move down 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say, just like that, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it is 4 away. It will make its attack against Rook. It is going to be going through some green, so it's going to be the attack value is going to be subtracted by 1. The Hive or the Sickle Anatomy card that it has, the ability only prevents the ability to ignore these when it comes to movement, not when it comes to attacking. So then again, this one is going to attack with a teal and an orange die. So we're getting 2 attacks from here, 1 at range, 1 at close, and then 1 at range from this. All of these are going at Rook. Our first attack from a Cave Sickle is going to be a ranged attack. We'll see how this goes. I got an 11 against me. I do have a defense of 7, 8 defense, so an 11 does hit. So 8, 9, 10, 11, I'm going to hit for 3 damage. It is going through hindering terrain, so it's going to be only 2 damage, and I have enough armor that's going to block all that. So we're going to not worry about that. The second one is going to be an attack that is melee, so it's going to be standing right next to me and attacking. It's got an 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so it did get a 12. I only have a 7, 8 defense. 8 defense is going to be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm taking 4 damage right now. Now on top of that, the 4 damage, I'm going to also be taking 4 plus whatever it says here. Physical damage 1, so 4, 5, and physical damage 1, so 6. I'm going to be taking 6 damage. This, I do not have the armor to block. I only have the armor to block 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our once per encounter ability here to, after a roll against you is made, remove all symbols from one die. So I am going to remove all the symbols from that die, meaning that this character now does 4 damage to me, which is enough to be blocked by all the armor I have. And at this point, I am going to counterattack with my ability core. My ability core, I do not have to spend stamina to counter. It is an ability on the core that allows me to counterattack against this enemy. So we're going to roll our dice, which is the exact same dice it's rolling against us. Hopefully we can do some good damage to it. We got, nope, we can do absolutely no damage to it. Nothing. We did nothing. That is called nothing. So now we're going to have our third attack. This is a ranged attack by the cave sickle. He is going to attack us as well. This one got an 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which is enough to hit. At 12, 13, it's doing 12, then I can see here, it's going to be 12 minus 8 is 4, which I can block all the damage from with my defense, but it's going to be 3 more, 1, 2, 3. So I'm actually going to take 3 damage from this. I, again, am going to use a once per encounter ability on my Cuirass here, and that is going to allow me to, when you are dealt physical damage from an attack, ignore all physical damage. So I'm going to use that to prevent myself from taking any damage from these cave sickles. Oofta, I used a lot of stuff, but we didn't take any damage from those attacks. With the cave sickles having activated, we'll move on to our Waterlow and see what she does. This Waterlow is in a great spot to just cause havoc. I don't like where it's standing. I was really hoping we had to take this thing out last turn. We failed miserably. All right, so this thing is there a figure within sphere of influence with an effect? No. Is there more than one opponent adjacent? No. Is there an opponent within sphere of influence? Cast spell 6, prioritizing the opponent with the lowest conviction value. Deal magic damage equal to 2 plus, equal to 2 plus the difference rolled on their failed conviction check. So that is what the Waterlow is going to do. Its casting die is a teal die. So it's going to be rolling a teal die against one of our 2 characters here. Now Rook is closer in line on the initiative track, and they both have a conviction value of purple for their character and then white for their, they all have a ability here, not ability, sorry. They have a, what are these things? These are mundane relics. They have relics that are giving them a conviction upgrade of white. So sadly, they only have a purple and a white. And this person's going to be rolling a teal plus 6 against Rook, because Rook is closest in line. And all the armor in the world is not going to stop anything that this thing's about to do, which is going to be bad. Well, it got a 4, which is half the battle. So I got 4 plus 6 is 10. I got a 7, 8, 9. So I do not beat it. It did beat me by 1, but I'm going to only take 2 plus the difference between the conviction values. So I'm going to be taking 3 damage. There's nothing I can do about that, so I'm just going to take 1, 2, 3 and go down to 7. Now it's time for our characters to activate. Nightingale gets to go first. And the first thing she's going to do is use my favorite character ability of all the characters we have. This one allows me to gain 2 stamina points, and all other allies gain 1. It is once per encounter. So now she has 5 stamina points. Now sadly, you can't go above your maximum, and Zeke is already at 5, but the other characters are all going to be able to gain a stamina point. And if you've already gone this turn, you can transfer that over to your next turn. So that puts Rook at 1 and Remy at 4 stamina points, which is also a key number to have for Remy right now. Okay, that is the end of that ability. It is just something I can use, and now it's time for her to actually activate with her 5 stamina points. But before she does, because of her sentient bodysuit, she is going to gain a health point back up to 9, and I am going to, should I use this? Heals 3 and gains a stamina point? No, we're going to save this. We're going to save this. I got a plan. The first thing we're going to do is see if we are in sphere of influence to this enemy. I don't think I am. I'm going to move all these characters off the board and use my magic little device here to go from center to center. Nope, it crosses a red line right there. You can see it. And if you're wondering where I got this from Amazon. I bought it. It's actually a reciprocating saw guide that you can put on the top of it, and then you can kind of make sure you're cutting a straight line. That's why it has this little hook thing here. But you can also buy them from, I think, Army Painter has one. There other sites might be able to find these, but I found it on Amazon for, I think, not much more than like $10. So if you're interested in finding that, that's where I got that. All right, she can't see, so she's gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to right here. Why not? We'll move up a little bit. There we go. She'll stand right there. And at this point, she is going to now use the rest of her stamina to just rip into this character with all the magic she can. Since this Earth Loa has 5 armor, Hitting it with magic is going to be the key to victory here. So we're going to start, let's start with Gore Shot. We're going to exhaust Gore Shot. Gore Shot is going to allow me to cast a spell 6, dealing 2 magic damage. I can then take 2 irreducible damage to deal additional magic damage equal to 2 times your highest courier. So I'll deal 2, and my highest courier is 3, so I'm going to deal 6 points of damage, 6, 7, 8 points of magic damage. But doing that will drop me down to 7 health. Her casting die is a teal die, so we're going to roll a teal die into the dice tray and see how we do. We got, oh my gosh, we got an 8. We're going to activate this ability. Okay. This thing is amazing. I love this staff. I am going to spend a stamina point. And what that does is before the target of one of your spells makes a conviction check, in addition to the effect of the spell, deal teal magic damage to that enemy. Now, I don't even know if this person can save itself. It can get a 15 is the most it can get. And I've got an 8 plus 6 is okay, it can save itself. It could get enough to save itself. Nope, sorry, you got a 13. That's not enough. 8 plus 6 is 14. So I did damage it with my courier spell, and I'm also going to be able to do an extra 7 damage. Oh my gosh, I love this staff so much. Adding everything up, we have done the 6 extra damage from our courier disciplines because I have 3 times 2 is 6, 7, 8 for the actual spell of Gore Shot. Then we do an extra 7 from our staff, so we're at a total of 15 damage already to this, and so that's half its health in one shot. The next spell we're going to use is we are going to use Life Grasp. I'm going to exhaust this and pay 1 stamina point to be able to cast a spell 6 against up to 3. Now, of course, it's only the 1 character, but I'm going to deal magic damage equal to the difference rolled on the failed conviction checks. And after rolling for the force of the spell, I may deal myself 6 irreducible damage, bringing myself down to 1 health if I want to add 6 to the roll. My dice, again, is teal. We'll see how it goes. I got a 4 plus 6 is 10. Oh, that's not a lot, but we're still going to do it. I'm still going to use my staff. I'm going to spend the stamina point to try to do extra damage before it rolls its conviction check. See how its conviction check is? A 9. 9 plus 9, and now I've got a 10, so I'm so sorry again, you have failed. Now, I'm only going to do 1 damage because of the spell, but I'm going to be able to roll a teal die worth of extra magic damage, which is another 3, so we did 4. We're up to 19 damage against this thing. And we have 1 more spell left to cast. We are going to cast Root the Mind. I'm going to pay my 1 stamina point, and I'm going to exhaust this to do a spell 6 to try to inflict paralyze. But before I do that, I am going to use my energy drink here to heal myself 3 and gain 1 stamina point. So I'm going to go to 1, 2, 3, 10 health, and I'm going to gain back a stamina point. Now before we make our attack, I did notice I failed miserably. It is an exhaust ability, so I can actually do that once. I can't do that multiple times, so instead we only did 1 point of damage with our Life Grasp attack, so we've done 16, but I'm still going to try to paralyze it. We'll roll our die in. Oh, that's not very good. Let's see how he does. He probably did better than me, so he's not going to be paralyzed, which is going to be super bad. We got to take this guy down, or he's probably going to destroy somebody next turn. It's going to be Remy's turn next. I really needed to be Remy's turn, so that's good. And I needed Nightingale go before Remy because Remy needed that extra stamina point super bad. The only thing I'm worried about is I am banking on Zeke and Padrick to take out the Earth Loa and needing to do 14 damage to it with 5 defense, and all of their damage is physical. But at this point, I'm not too worried about that. I've got 6 speed with Nightingale or with Remy. Remy is going to spend 1 of her stamina points to move to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So she is standing next to this water loa and be able to use 2 stamina to be able to attack the water loa. Oh, this is going to be brutal. We'll see if we can take it down. I don't think we're going to be able to, but we're going to give it our best shot. We'll use our top heavy axe and see how this goes. I get to roll 2 teal dice. And the defense for our water loa is an 11. So I'm going to roll higher than an 11, which I got an 11. Now I do have my Hammer Helm card, which we are going to use. Our Hammer Helm card allows us to re-roll any number of dice when making an attack. So I'm going to re-roll this one. Hopefully you can get something higher. Hopefully I don't drop it on the ground. We'll roll a little bit more. We got 14. I like that. Now I don't get to use any of the abilities on those dice. So I did 14, and she has a defense of 11. So she's only taking 3 damage, which is super brutal because I've got to do 18 points of damage to this thing. So we've done 3 points of damage already, which is that's not a good way to start. That's our attack. Now I could, as a passive, I can use my last stamina point to be able to roll a black die. And I can do damage or irreducible damage equal to the amount of shields. I got 2, so that's 2 more. So we've done 5 damage to this thing. Oh my gosh, it's gonna take forever to kill this thing. We gotta take it down. We gotta take it down. We gotta take it down fast. All right, that's at 5 damage. Okay. Oh, and I get an extra one here. 6. 6 damage from my Hammer Helm card. Lots of stuff going on. I get 6 damage here, and that's all I get from my Hammer Helm card. Now we'll see if there's anything else I can do to try to make an attack. I have my Fight Drive. Once per encounter, I can use this, and we are totally going to use this right now to make an attack. So we're going to roll up 2 teal dice again. See how we do. We got a 10. That is not enough to do it, and I've already used my ability here. We've exhausted that, so sadly we didn't do any damage to that water loa, except for the small amount I did. Super bad. Oh my gosh, this thing is so powerful. I got to figure out what we're going to do about it. I don't really know what I can do about it. This thing's just going to keep on casting spells and killing people. Zeke is next. Zeke is 2 spaces away from the Earth Loa. He's just going to try to pour everything he can into this thing. So we're going to start by using, I'm actually going to start by using my Fight Drive against it. Good news, this thing only has a 10 defense, but bad news, I'm rolling an orange and a white, which isn't that great. Now, I'm going to spend 1 stamina point to empower this attack, so I'm going to be able to roll an extra black die to hopefully get some symbols that help me. Now, of course, you roll the black die and you get that symbol, the skull symbol. When you roll it, that means your attack has failed, and we do not want to fail our attack. And I was looking at some of my abilities. There is nothing I can use that's really going to help me out. So let's roll our dice, see how it goes. I got an 18. Oh, this is a 15. This is like the best roll I can. Oh, that is the best roll I can roll ever. Okay, this you can't get any better than this. I've got a 15, and now it only has a 10 defense, so I've done 5 over its defense. So I am doing 5 points of damage. Then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of these shields, which if I can get 5, I do 6. So now we're at what? 5 over plus 6 is 11. Oh my gosh, 12, 13. I think I've done 13 points of damage to this thing. 13. Then I'm going to use my Precise Shot. My Precise Shot states that if I have a 2-handed weapon equipped, I get extra range, blah, blah, blah. Don't care about that. What I really care about is if the attack roll is at least 4 or higher, then the target's defense, including any defense added from abilities, this attack gains 5 irreducible damage. That's another 5 points of damage. I think I might have actually killed it in 1 shot. I shouldn't get too ahead of myself, but I still did a ton of damage. I forgot about the 5 armor this thing has. So from what I understand, I did 10 plus, or 15, I should say. I got a total of 15. So that's going to be 5 over his, which is going to be enough to hit him and do 5 damage. Now, of course, his armor is going to reduce 5. So technically, my dice did nothing. We're looking only at the symbols, which are going to do 6, 7, 8 points of damage. Then I get the 5 irreducible damage from a Precise Strike. So it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points of damage. So I am going to put another 10 and a 3, and that puts this character at 10, 20, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Really? 29 damage? Can I find any way to just toe poke this thing like I could in Mortal Kombat? Just toe poke to death? Oh, come on. Okay, I guess we're going to attack again. Hopefully, all we have to do is 1 damage. Sadly, my Precise Strike is a once per attack. It's an exhaust ability, so I can only use it once. So we're going to spend 2 stamina points now to attack with our Bearer of Justice, and I am going to use 1 stamina point to empower the attack. Now, sadly, none of the extra things are going to be going off on this because it didn't do any damage to Zeke when it attacked. And maybe I should have had it attack Zeke, and I could have done a ton of extra stuff, because if it would have actually dealt 4 or more damage, I would have done Wilt to it. I could have done an extra 2 physical damage and things of this nature. Now, I do get the +1 to my attack roll if I choose not to move, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't think Zeke is going to move. I should have probably stated that in my last attack, and I would have killed it, but alas, I did not. So we are going to try to get this thing again, and I think we did it. I think we got a great roll again. This roll is almost as good as you can get. The only one would have been better is that 7 appeared again. So we got a 14, which is again going to be over his defense value. So we've done 10 is his defense. We've done 4 damage. Then all of these together are going to add up to another 6 points of damage. So that's going to, and that's easily going to be enough to kill it, plus the 1 extra physical damage here. So we were able to take out the Earth Loa in 2 shots. I did not think that was going to happen. So we're going to remove this character from the board and gain a combatant loot card. And we have found ourselves 6 gold. So we'll add that to our pile of gold. We have 11 at this point. And Zeke does have 1 defense left, or 1 stamina point left. But remember, I chose not to move when I made my attack with the Bearer of Justice. So I'm not able to use it to move, which is okay. And of course, we used our Fight Drive. So we kind of piled everything we could into this monster so we could kill it. Patrick is next. Patrick has an ability for 0 to be able to like the shadows move. It's actually it's a discipline that you can get as well, but he's got it on his card. It's an exhaust ability that allows him when this movement does not provoke break attacks, so he's going to be able to move 2 spaces without doing that. I'm going to move him there. At this point now, he's going to spend 2 stamina points. He's going to spend 2 stamina, actually he's going to spend 3 stamina points. I'm just going to do all 3. I'm going to spend 3 stamina points, and we're going to use 3 energy tokens. This doesn't say once per time. There's not an exhaust ability, so I don't see any reason why I can't do this a lot. And we're going to use 3 energy tokens to allow us to use the ability to do Vitality Drink. You or an adjacent ally heals 3 health. I'm going to give 3 of it to Zeke, bringing him from 8 to 9, 10, 11, and I'm going to give 6 to Nightingale. Her max is 18, so I'm going to be able to give her 6, which is going to get her to 16. There we go. Oh my gosh, now our characters are looking a little bit better. Now, Patrick has absolutely no energy tokens left. He has used them all. The only way he can get them back is if somebody actually hits him. So maybe I need to get him into the front line so he can get hit. We have come to the end of the round again, so we'll remove all of our tokens from all of our cards and give each person 3 stamina points. We're then going to shuffle these up, put them back out. Hopefully, I really need this group to go first. I could care less if that group goes first. Because they're all over there. Oh, it's absolutely amazing. I wish this bottom group could start doing as well as the top group. But the bottom group is kind of built for battle. I mean, Remy is really a monster with those 2-handed weapons, but I just can't seem to get through. Especially this thing that keeps removing all the symbols from my dice. It's absolutely bonkers. All right, the first person. Oh no, that was not the way it needed to go. I needed Remy to go first. Oh, look at all this. This is absolutely terrible. Nobody at the bottom is going first. They're all just going to get blasted. Oh, they're at the end. Why not? At the end. Now, Patrick does have to slide all the way to the bottom, and he's going to go right there. But, oh no, Nightingale, and who's the top? Remy's the top. So Remy's probably start getting blasted by all of these evil, vile creatures here, which is going to be super, super bad. We'll start with our Water Loa. The Water Loa is going to activate the ability that says, is there an opponent within sphere of influence? Yes. It will cast 6 prioritizing the opponent with the lowest conviction. They both have the same conviction, and at this point, I'm going to be taking damage equal to 2 plus the difference rolled on the failed conviction check. And it's going to target the person that is going to be first in line. So Remy is the one that's going to be taking the magic damage this time. I'll tell you right now, my team is not built to take on magic opponents here. It got a 16. Really? Oh no. All right, it got a 16. This is going to be super bad because my conviction is only a 9. Now I do have an ability that says after making a roll, reroll any of your dice. I'm going to use that. That is on my enchanted piercings. I was actually hoping to save that for an attack roll, but when that thing rolls that high of a number, I need to get something better on this orange die than a 3. Come on, something, a 4. Well, I got a 4. So 16 minus 10 means I'm going to take 6 magic damage from this person. Now, of course, I'm going to take damage equal to 2 plus the difference. So it's going to be 6, 7, 8 magic damage against this thing, from this thing. And that's going to bring me down to 10 damage because I don't have anything that protects me from magic damage. So I am at 10 health right now. I had 18. Oofta. Went down. Oh, that was like half my health in one shot. Nightingale is next. She has 4 stamina points. She's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think she can move 6 spaces with her speed. And then I have to decide if I want to move more. Now, if I move, I think, any more, I'm going to be in line of sight of this thing. And I have no idea what that is. Because right now I'm still behind that red part of the board. So if I spend 2 more stamina points, that's going to put me pretty much, I'm going to be able to see it. I'm actually going to be able to see it as soon as I move here. And I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend 1 to move there, and then I can move 1 more, and I'm probably just going to move here unless something changes when I see this. But do know that immediately when I stepped into that square is when I see it. I wonder if there's a way to see it before I spend those extra stamina points from here. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, there's not. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to here. Do I have the ability to see it from there? Let's see if I can see it from there. I cannot. It is still clipping that red piece right there. So the only place I could see it would be right up in this area. Totally fine. I have 2 stamina points left. I do get to heal 1, going up to 17 health because of my sentient bodysuit at the start of her turn. And now we're going to activate this blue totem. And I'm going to leave it there, but I'll probably remove it after we activate it. Hopefully you can read it through the red thing here. It says here, a half-dozen cave sickles crawl onto stone bridge. They screech as they charge at you. Spawn 3 cave sickles adjacent to the space this totem occupied. At the end of your turn, move the Cave Sickles initiative card up 1 space on the initiative track. Okay, so they're going to attack me almost right away after I do something after she stops. When she's done, the Cave Sickles activate. That's going to be the deal. At this point, we're going to spawn 3 Cave Sickles next to this, adjacent to that totem. The way you're going to spawn monsters, especially when it comes to like a swarm or a group of enemies, is you're going to start with the lowest number that's available to spawn and then continue forward. So since we have 2 Cave Sickles out on the board that are still part of the 1 through 3 Cave Sickle swarm, the number 3 one was killed. So that one is actually going to reappear on the board. Then I'm going to spawn Cave Sickle 4 and 5, which are actually part of the second swarm. So they actually are going to be part of the Cave Sickle 4 through 6 card out on the board. But this one is going to activate when the 1 through 3 activate. That way, you always keep on continuing to spawn this lowest numbered one when you spawn things. Now I do still have 2 stamina points left. I am going to spend 1 stamina point, and I am going to continue my movement because that all happened during my movement. So I was able to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm going to move 9, 10 to right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that they're all within my sphere of influence. This is going to be super, super good. And now we are going to kill every one of those Cave Sickles. And now that I look at it, I could actually keep that stamina point and not take that movement. Because what I could do is once per combat, I can, when making a spell, or when choosing to use targets of a spell, increase your sphere of influence by 2. So my sphere of influence is 6 right now. We're going to use that 6 to be able to use one of my stamina points to cast Life Grasp again. This Life Grasp is absolutely awesome. We're going to exhaust that card, and we're potentially going to hopefully take out a whole ton of these Cave Sickles with that Life Grasp card. I lied. I'm going to not use my Wand of Missiles. We're going to use the stamina point to move 2 spaces, leaving us with 1 stamina point, which is still enough to cast Life's Grasp. So we are going to cast Life Grasp against this entire swarm of Cave Sickles. We'll use our rod to give ourselves a conviction of blue, or a casting value of blue. A 3, that's absolutely terrible. I'm not going to keep that 3. I've got ways of re-rolling dice. We're going to use that. After making a roll, you re-roll any of your dice. I'm going to re-roll this die right here and see what we get. We got 7. That's way better. So we've used that once per encounter ability. We'll put our little tag on it to show that we have used it. We have these little tokens here that I'm putting on these cards. So that is a used ability. Now I'm going to take 6 irreducible damage, dropping my health down to 11. Totally fine. We're going to roll up some conviction now. We're going to start with the yellow one. The yellow one got a total of, wow, really? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It got 13, meaning I did 6 points of magic damage to that yellow one, which need to do better than that. All right, now we're going to go on to the green one. Come on, get some low numbers. For 13, that's so good. So good. I did another 6 points of damage. Wow, the spell is not doing as well as I was hoping. We'll continue on. That's the blue one, sorry. Now we'll go to the green Cave Sickle. Green save, there we go. It got an 8. Which is going to be 11 points of damage to that one, leaving it with 1. I left it with 1 hit point, so I didn't kill any of them. This is the reason I decided not to use the extra movement. I'm going to cast Gore Shot to hopefully be able to kill the one that's taken 11 points of damage. And then I can use this. It's called Infection. It says, deal yourself 1 irreducible damage to reduce the stamina cost of an action or ability you're making by 1. So I can reduce that to 0. So we're probably going to cast Root the Mind as well, bringing myself down to 10 health. And we're going to cast that hopefully on one that I can kill then. Oh, I'm not going to be able to kill it. Well, Root the Mind is going to just be, oh, that's not going to work. Well, never mind. We're not going to cast Root the Mind. We're not going to take the damage. It's totally fine. We're just going to kill off that one with the irreducible damage. That's my plan. I've still got my rod, so we're going to cast that. I'm just going to add the conviction dice right in at the same time, roll them all together. I got a 3, which is a 9, but that's enough because I got a 4. Why could those not have rolled a 4 earlier? I'd love so many 4s. But we did take out the green Cave Sickle. So at least we knocked one of them off the board. It's not enough to gain any type of loot because there still is swarms on the board. The 2 caves, actually every Cave Sickle is going to activate now, starting with the 4 through 6, because that would have to go right after Nightingale's attack here. So this blue one is the only one that's going to attack first. And it asks if there is an opponent within range 4. Yes, there is. So it's going to make an attack against her. Then it's going to move 1, 2, 3 to be able to attack again. It's going to be able to make it a follow-up. Then it's going to follow up, make attack, or move, then move to be adjacent to the opponent and damage the person with the the most within range, movement range, with most damage. Well, that's the only one it's going to get to. So Nightingale is going to get attacked twice from this Cave Sickle, which is awesome. There's only one Cave Sickle next to it, so it's going to get a Hive Mind, as I throw the dice on the ground, to be able to roll an orange and a blue against me. It got a 14, and the 14 is really good. I only have an 8 defense, so I'm going to take 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 6 damage. Really? I'm going to take 6, and then each one of these is going to give me damage. 6, 7, 8, 9 damage. I have one armor, so it's going to be 8 damage. I'm going to take 8 damage from this attack. Well, this is going to be super bad. I'm taking a lot of damage. Oh my gosh. 8 damage. So I'm at 11. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm at 3 health. This could be the end of Nightingale, but that's okay. She's done an absolute ton of stuff this game. Now it's going to attack melee against her and see how it goes. Well, that's me enough to kill her. 14, that's way too much. She doesn't have that much health left. 14 is enough to wreck her. That's it. Wow. She got dead. Because I only have, what, 8 defense. So that's going to be, I'm going to take 6, 7, 8, 9 points of damage. And I'm not going to be able to withstand that. 9, I can knock it down from 9 to 8. To 7 to 6. I could take it down to 6. I could remove all the dice or things from that die with one of my abilities. I've got a Fate Engine that allows me to, once per encounter, remove all the symbols on a die. So I could do that. I could remove all the symbols on that die and see if that helps. Now we're taking 6, 7 damage. 7 is still probably not enough. Oh, hey, wait, maybe I could do this. This might help. How about I dodge? Why don't I try dodging? That's probably what I should have done. I dodge, I get 3 more defense. Maybe I'm still alive. We'll see. Maybe I should look at all the cards I got out here before I roll the die. So we are going to dodge, which is going to give me the ability to add 3 defense to this. Now let's see if we're still alive. We're probably still not alive, but we'll maybe we are. Maybe we got 1 health left. With that dodge, I'm actually going to stay alive. I can't believe that. Okay, so I do have a total of 8 defense. That does knock out the 8. So I'm still taking 6 plus 1 is 7 points of damage, but 7, 6, 5, 4 because of those dodges there. So I'm down to 4. My jacket is going to reduce physical damage by 2. So 4, 3, 2, and it gives me 1 armor, bringing it to only taking 1 damage, which puts me to 2 health. Now, the only bad thing is the other Cave Sickles are going to activate, which means the yellow one is going to activate as well and probably kill me. But first comes Cave Sickles 1 through 3, which is this red one. It's going to attack Rook because my guys all decided to go last. They're not fast. So this one is going to do an absolute ton to him. Is there an opponent adjacent? Yes, there is. I'm going to make an attack against the opponent with the most damage. Well, this is the only one that's adjacent to him, so it's going to attack that one. Then it's going to make a follow-up attack against the same target. Then it's going to make a follow-up attack against the same target. So it's going to attack 3 times against Rook. But hopefully I'm able to interrupt this as it goes forward. Rook does have 4 stamina points. He is going to use his dodge die, so I'm going to grab that. We're going to spend 1 stamina to dodge. That is one of the things we can do on our standard abilities. We'll see how this goes for us. We did get 1 extra defense. We didn't even need it. The 7 doesn't even hit him or damage him at all. But I am going to remove that stamina point, leaving him with only 3. At this point, we are going to counterattack against this. I'm going to use my core and exhaust it to be able to counterattack and use a teal and orange die and see if we can do some damage to this Cave Sickle. This is Cave Sickle, the red Cave Sickle, who has never been hit. The Cave Sickle is now been hit. He's been hit real good. I have a total of he has a total of 10 defense, so it's gonna be 8 plus 6 is 14. So I have done a total of 4 damage to it. Plus I get to use all those symbols on there. So 4, 5, 6 damage from the 2 books, and I get the 1 here. So 6, 7 points of damage to that Cave Sickle. And since I countered him, it's going to stop all of his follow-up. It's going to interrupt all the follow-up attacks that it would normally do. So taking 7 points of damage is going to pretty much knock it down to close to less than half of its health left. And we'll move into the purple's turn. Our purple Cave Sickle is going to see if there's an opponent within range 4. Make an attack at range 4, then move to be adjacent to the opponent with the most damage. The most damage is still going to be Rook. Nope, Rook. Yeah, Rook has 8 health. So this one is going to attack Rook 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces away, and then move 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces right there to be able to attack Rook with its melee attack. So Rook again is getting attacked by 2 different attacks. This purple one is rolling an orange and a teal for the ranged attack. That's a 10. Minus 2 is 8. It has an 8. Rook has a total of 8 defense, so this isn't going to do any damage. It's going to run up next to Rook. It's going to make an attack. It got a 6. It actually missed completely. So at this point, I am going to use my card that says, as a passive, I can spend 1 stamina point to counterattack. So he is also going to make a counterattack doing 1 of his stamina points. And we're going to see how this goes. We're going to hit the purple one really good. Hopefully we hit the purple one really good. We got an 8 and a 4. That's enough to hit the purple one. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That is a 2 above the defense. So that's 2. Plus I got another 2 there. So 2, 3, 4, 5 points of damage against that cave sickle. That worked out really well. I actually built Rook to be able to do that. He is built to be a person that can counterattack against these by being able to absorb all the damage against him by the armor that he has. Now comes the person that's not built to take damage, and that's going to be Nightingale. Nightingale is going to be attacked at a ranged attack first. Then this is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 to right here. Now when it moves out of that square, I'm going to be able to do a break attack against it. So I am going to have a chance at maybe hitting this thing. Then it's going to attack me again, because its AI card is going to, if there's opponent in range 4, make a range 4 attack, then would be adjacent with the person with the most damage, then make an attack that could possibly inflict poison force 10. I think this is going to probably kill her when all said and done. Now, I'm going to do something rather rash. At this point now, I am going to use my infection card. It says, deal yourself 1 irreducible damage to reduce the stamina point cost of an action or ability you're making. The action I am going to make is dodge. I'm going to go down to 1 health to do a dodge when this thing tries to shoot at me. The reason I'm choosing to dodge the first attack is that at least maybe I can get an attack with my break attack in against it, and who knows, I might be able to take it down. I don't have high hopes, but we'll see how this goes. We're going to roll these up and see how we do. It did get a 13. I got 1 defense. Now remember, I have 8 defense that I can use. So I have 8. Oh, it's going to get -1 because it is shooting it through its friend, so it got a 12. 12 is still going to be enough to break through my defense of 8 by 4, and I am going to take a total of 1, 2, 3 damage, plus 1 here is 2 damage, so I am going to die from this. So I am going to use my ability to re-roll a die. It's on my character card here. It says on my thing here, when making a dodge, so long as you do not roll a skull, you may re-roll your dodge die. So we're going to do that. We're going to re-roll our dodge die, hopefully get some, no, we got books. Books are not going to save Nightingale. Nightingale has been destroyed. We are going to remove her from the board. That is the end of her. She did a lot of stuff, but sadly she's just not going to make it out of the encounter. That does not end the encounter, but it does remove her character card from the initiative track. It is gone. We'll slide all the enemies up who all got to activate. Now it's our turn. Every single person gets to activate now. We got Rook, we got Remy, we got Zeke, we've got Patrick. Everybody gets to activate. It's going to be an activation party here. We're going to start with Zeke. Zeke is hopefully going to take out some of these cave sickles. He's pretty upset that he just killed Nightingale, one of his best friends. Zeke has 4 stamina points. He's going to use his first stamina point to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up and around this way. He can stand right here. He does have his Bearer of Justice, and his Bearer of Justice does state, he's got some abilities here. Attack is made against an opponent that dealt damage to an ally since the end of your last turn gains 2 physical damage. They both damaged her. It also says when an opponent within sphere of influence deals 4 or more damage to an ally, that opponent inflicts wilt. Now that didn't happen because I was too far away for any of that to happen, but I'm going to be doing 2 extra damage to both of these with my bow, which is going to be sweetness. I am going to make my attack, and I am going to use Down the Masses. Down the Masses says I can make an attack against 2 different targets. It says down here, all murders are punished unless they kill in large numbers. And to the sound of trumpets, we are going to down the masses. I'm going to shoot both of those guys. The other thing I'm going to do is I am going to use 1 stamina point to empower this attack. So we're going to use our Bearer of Justice on the first. For the first one, I'm going to empower. We'll roll our dice and see how this goes. Now, I believe, I could be wrong about this, that I believe you roll for each attack you're making. It's not just roll 1 and then use those rolls against both of the combatant, for both of the enemies. So we'll make our first attack against the yellow one. We'll see how this goes. I got a 13 plus a bunch of stuff, which is going to be perfect. So the 13 is going to be 3 above the defense, and then I'm going to be able to activate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these physical damage, so that's going to give me 6, so I am at 9 points of damage, and then 9, 10, 11 points of damage, and that's going to be way more than enough to kill off the yellow cave sickle. The yellow cave sickle is destroyed, which is awesome. And then now that does not, of course, give us any loot yet because we still have the purple and red one. I do not get to empower this attack because I only have the 1 extra stamina point. So we're going to roll these 2 dice up, hopefully get a pretty big number. No, we got an absolutely terrible number, but we've got some tricky tricks. We got tricky tricks. I've got Kill the Messenger. This card has done so good for me. It's so amazing. So the way this card works is it says here, if you have two-handed ranged weapon equipped, when making an attack, if you rolled the lowest result on a combat die, you may change that to a single die to the highest roll instead of with this ability. It does not use the black die. So I'm going to exhaust that in order to change my 2, which is the lowest on here, to an 8. So now we got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, which is 3 above the defense, which means I'm going to do 3 plus 1 is 4 points of damage. Now, sadly, I wish I would have gotten, no, it's actually 4, 5, 6 points of damage because this is going to activate as well. That is going to be 6 points of damage to the cave sickle. If this would have been 4 or higher, I could have used my precise strike, which would have been absolutely awesome and done 5 irreducible damage. But it need to be 4 or higher over the target's defense. And it is not. It is not 4 or higher over the target's defense. It was only 3 over the target defense. The good news is 6 damage is enough to kill the cave sickle. They only have 12 health, and it has 6 damage already on it. So thanks to the power of Nightingale, these cave sickles are all dead. We were able to kill all the cave sickles because of all the damage she was able to put on them. That does kill off this swarm, so we get a combat and loot card, and we get 8 more gold that will add to our stash. That is hopefully going to help us invest in a new bow for Zeke, because even though this is an awesome, unique, mundane weapon here, it's starting to show its age by only having an orange and yellow die or white die. And I've noticed if I don't empower this bow, that it really, really does not do a ton of damage and does a lot less than I'm hoping for. That's the end of Zeke's turn. It is now going to be Remy. But Zeke did get to exact revenge on all of those cave sickles that took Remy down. Or I'm sorry, I mean Nightingale, took Nightingale down. From where Remy is going to activate Onslaught. That is going to be her card. She has 3 stamina points. I'm just going to whack this thing so hard, I hope. I'm going to hit it 3 times. Pow, pow, pow. Now, of course, if any of these misses, the follow-up attack is not going to happen. Now, this Waterloa does have 11 defense, so I always have to get 11 or more when attacking with this weapon, or all these follow-ups are not going to activate. Time to start racking up some damage. Let's roll these dice. Our first one is an 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That is 2 over the points of the Waterloa. So we are at 2 damage right now. We are going to continue with follow-up, make an attack. Oh, I also forgot about my Hammer Helm card. That's actually 3 damage. I get to increase my physical damage by 1. So we're going to roll our second attack. Our second attack is 14. That is, again, 3 over the amount. So I'm going to do 4 more damage. So we'll add 4 to this. We got 1. Oh, I need 3 more. We'll put this other one right here. So now we have 4 damage, which is a little off camera. They're kind of moving the camera here. All right. Now our third attack is going to go off. Let's see how our third attack goes. Our third attack is an 8. Our third attack did not hit, but I can now exhaust this to allow myself, when making an attack with a 2-handed weapon equipped, I can re-roll my enemy out of combat dice and re-roll both of them. It didn't help me. I got a 9. That does not hit this thing. Oh my gosh, if anything else that can help. Nope, that is it. We did 7 points of damage. So we are up to 13 points of damage to this Waterloa. Oh my gosh, that arcane ability is just so brutal against all these attacks. It's so hard to kill this thing. Rook is next. Rook is going to probably whack all these guys really good. I've got 2 stamina points, so we're going to make some attacks against these opponents. I'm going to choose to attack the red one because it has taken more damage. I get to roll an orange and a black die. I did 15, which is going to be 5 over the defense value, and I get to add these in. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points of damage. That's way more than enough to kill the red cave sickle. We'll remove the red cave sickle from the board. And one thing I have been forgetting to do that I probably could have been doing is I could exhaust this card that says whenever you deal magic damage to an opponent, heal 1. Only one of these can be used per action or ability. And these are technically magic damage down there. So when I did that damage, I'm going to gain back 1 health. Now I might be able to do this a couple times. I might have missed this a few times, but because there's a lot going on in this game. But I did miss that. I am going to exhaust that to do that. I'm also going to exhaust this to deal a black damage to the other cave sickle that's next, or none. I'm going to do none. No damage to that cave sickle. But we have exhausted this as well to try to do the black damage, but we didn't do anything. That was super fun. Okay, that's the end of Rook. It is now going to be Patrick's turn. It's time to get some loot. Patrick has 4 of these stamina tokens. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to right there. That's going to cost him 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 3 stamina points. He's going to use his last stamina point to check out this loot. I'm going to use an encounter action to interact with the loot token that I'm either on or adjacent to. We have found what color? Blue. We have found a blue loot token. Now, of course, the loot tokens out here are random. We'll check our book to see what we've found. This one says gain 5 gold and 2 mundane consumables. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a 5 gold one. Now notice this doesn't have any writing down here like the rest of these do. These are my 1.0 cards that I have. These are the 1.2 cards. They have that down there. So I'm lucky enough to have some extra ones of these. So I'm just going to place that up to the top to remind myself I've got 5 golds from that. Then I'm going to take my entire mundane or my entire deck. There is going to be some common ones in here as well. We're just going to give this a good old truffle shuffle here, kind of sideways so you don't know what it is. And I'm going to draw from the bottom. We're going to take one. We got an HP potion and we got another mundane super energy high HP container. So he has gained 2 of those. We'll put those with his character and then he can maybe pass those off as we're going. The board's looking a little bit better here. We're going to remove all our tokens from the initiative cards and from all the cards that have the exhaust ability. We're going to shuffle these up. Hopefully we get to go first. If that Waterloa cannot go first or we're in big trouble here. Let's shuffle these up. Come on, good old truffle shuffle here. I need a lucky truffle shuffle. And we've got Zeke. Okay, that didn't help. We got, oh no, the Waterloa. Oh no, the cave sickles. Everything's going to go again before our guys. Oh, 4 through 6 is dead. This one's not around. So we're going to move these here. And then Patrick is actually on the end. And we have poor Nightingale. She's super dead. She's over here. Okay. So we're going to go with Zeke, which is pretty much just going to probably run. Then the Waterloa is going to attack Remy. Then the Rook is going to smash the cave sickle, dead. Then Remy's going to kill that thing. And then Patrick's going to run for the exit probably is going to be the deal here. All right. Let's start off with Zeke. Zeke has 3 stamina points, so he can move a total of 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 if he wishes to. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He can move all the way to here. I don't think he's going to have line of sight to anything. No, he does not. The only thing there is a red token here at the bottom corner, but it's blocked by a lot of this blocking terrain here, so he can't see it. I don't think he's ever going to have a chance of seeing it, and that's okay, because maybe we don't ever want to see it. Maybe we just want to get out of here. That's the end of his turn. He's used all of his stamina to move. Now it's going to be our Waterloa, who is going to cast a spell and attack Remy. So is there a person within Sphere of Influence? Yes, go against the person with the lowest conviction. Oh, the lowest conviction is going to be Rook, and Rook is in the Sphere of Influence, and Rook is ahead of Remy in the chain. So Rook is going to be the one that's going to have the spell cast against him. And that's going to be really, really bad because I don't have very good conviction on him. I got 14, and it only got a 13. It's got 6 plus 7 is 13. I got a 14. Actually, the spell did not affect me. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. All right, so that's the end of the Waterloa's turn, and we're going to move on to Rook. Rook is just going to take 2 stamina points, and I am going to attack with my 2 weapons, or my weapon and my my shield here. We'll see how this goes. I got an 8. Well, that thing's dead. I don't even think I need to add this up, but we're going to do it anyway. It's got 10 defense. I've got 16. So I did 6 points of damage. Plus these books are going to be another 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points of damage. It already has 5. This cave sickle is dead. That is enough to kill it. I'm going to gain a combatant loot card. We have found ourselves 6 more gold. We'll put that with our group. That was awesome. I get to heal 1 because I have did magic damage. I'm up to 9 health. That is going to be the end of his turn. We're going to move into Remy's turn because the cave sickles are all dead. I know I'm kind of moving a little bit fast here. Remy is going to use all 3 stamina points to use Onslaught again. We're going to make our first attack. Let's get this thing. 7, 14. Boom. That's 3 points of damage against this thing. How much does this thing have? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I've done 3 more, so that's 16, 17. I've done 4 more. Our next attack is going to be 11. That is enough to hit. It's not going to do any damage, but I still get to follow up because I did hit. I got 1 more attack against this thing. Oh, come on. We need to hit this thing really good. I got a 12. That's enough to do 1 point of damage. Boom, boom, boom. I took the thing out. Oh, and actually, I'm going to do 2 points of damage because of my Hammer Helm card, which is absolutely awesome. So I did do enough. I did another 2 points of damage, which should be enough to kill it. Let's check it out. So this vile creature that I don't ever want to see again. I'm going to do another 6 points of damage, 4 from the first attack, 0 from the second attack, and 2 from the last attack, which I think is enough. I've got 10,
16, 17, 18, 19. Yep, that's enough. 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Boom. This thing is dead. We're going to get this thing off the board. You can go way over there. I don't ever want to see you again. I'm going to grab a combat loot card, though, and see what I found. We've got ourselves 7 gold from the Waterloa. That's awesome. And last but not least, we have Patrick. He has 3 stamina tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. 2 right here. I'm going to actually stop right there. Patrick has an agility of, what is his agility? His agility is 2. That's terrible. I think we have better agility than that. The agility for Zeke is 4. Remy's agility is, I think, a lot. Remy's agility is 6. I was thinking of jumping this to get this loot token, but I'm going to have these guys run over here and grab it. I think that's what we're going to do. So instead, I'm just going to have him keep on going. I think he was right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 1, 2 to right there. He's going to stop right there. Totally fine. And we'll move into our next round. We'll take our initiative card, shuffle them up again, and we only have 4 now. Now at this point, if we don't have an enemy activate after this end of this turn, we are going to gain an urgency token towards our pool here. Everybody's going to gain back 3 stamina points, and we're going to start with Zeke. Zeke is going to use... Could Zeke jump this? He could jump this, and I can use Patrick's strength to help me. Patrick does have 6 strength. Here's what we're going to do. Zeke is going to do a move action. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, and then he's going to go 5, 6, 7, 8 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, 7 to here. When he makes this, he's going to do a jump. So that means I'm going to do an ability check using 2 purple dice, which aren't the greatest. And I need, now every time you make a jump, you have to, the difficulty is 10. Then it's plus 2 for every additional space. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have to roll a 14 or more on this dice. Now, of course, that's going to be really tough to do. I get to add my agility. So my agility is 4, and since Padrack is next to me, I get to add his strength to help me, and his strength is 6. So we're going to roll these 2 dice and see how it goes. I got a 10, which is going to be enough because I get 10 plus 4 plus 6, so 10 plus 10 is 20. 20 is way more than enough, so he basically, Padrack put his hands down and lifted, jumped me into the air. I went flipping over this thing, flip, 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 and landed right here. I'm going to do an encounter action, and I am going to pick up this loot token and see what we have found. Our loot token that was on the other side of this pit is a green loot token. The green one says I gain 10 gold and a random consumable. So we're going to take a couple of our older cards here and put 10 up into that pile, and then I get to get a random consumable. So we're going to take our consumable deck and grab one from the bottom. We have found a mundane HP, super HP potion. This is the 3rd one. These things, did I not shuffle these very? Oh my goodness, no, I didn't shuffle this at all. I just redid the whole deck, and I haven't even shuffled this deck up before. So that's why all these are the same. I'm sorry, I'm going to reshuffle this a little bit better so it's a little bit more mixed up here because they were all the same thing on the bottom. When I was redoing the cards, I wanted to make sure we had all the right cards in here. When I updated this to 1.2, I just haven't shuffled it since I did that. So there we go. We got these a little more shuffle there. So now we've been a better, bigger shuffle here. We're going to draw the bottom one. Okay, we got a mundane consumable. It is a vitality potion that now Zeke has. With that done, we're going to move into Rook and Remy's turn. They're both going to stand there and not do anything. They don't have, because I don't want to actually activate this red thing. I have no idea what it is, but I have a feeling it might bring more bad guys on the board. Padrack's going to move 1, 2, 3 with his movement and call it a day. Actually, you know what? No, we are going to activate that. We'll see what happens. Maybe I can move there. We'll just see what happens. Hopefully nothing attacks me, and we'll move. Maybe it's a different secret exit. Rook is going to use his movement. He does have a total of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He does have 10, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think 8 is going to be able to activate this. We'll check our little magic thingy here. We have it right here. 8 does activate the red marker. Let's see what this red marker is. Maybe it's hopefully not something bad, because if it's something does spawn, the enemy card is going to go right there and attack him. But hopefully it'll be like a secret entrance or maybe a fountain of youth or something. Maybe heal all your guys, and if you have a dead person, they come back. It says, in the corner you see a cave sickle crawling on an old chest. Spawn 1 cave sickle adjacent to this token and place a random loot token on the space this token occupied. Oh, I really want that loot token. So that's going to be awesome. So maybe we're not done yet. Maybe we are going to try to take this cave sickle on and get this loot token. Not only that, if we kill the 1 cave sickle that's going on the board, that would technically be considered an entire swarm being dead. So we're going to put this guy out there, and we're going to put a loot token out there, and we're going to kill that cave sickle, and we're going to get some loot because it's going to be awesome. We'll take our 2 loot tokens, mix them up a little bit, and so we get a little old shuffly here. Oops, I flipped it over. Now I know which one it is. Let's keep moving around a little bit. Oh, now I know what that one is. I'm not doing a very good job. I'm just kind of mix up like that. There we go. On top of each other. Okay. This one's going to go here, and this one's going to go back to the box. Now, of course, Rook did move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He still has 8, 9, 10, 3 movement left. So he's going to go 8, 9 to right there. That's totally fine. This cave sickle can attack him. No, actually, he's going to stop right there. He doesn't want to be adjacent to cave sickle. Let the cave sickle attack, move up, and then Remy can come flying in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It cost her all her movement to get over there. Huh. Oh, you know, whatever. We're just going to move him down here. That'll be fine. He's gonna smash this cave sickle in the next week on the next turn. There's only one cave sickle, so there's no hive mind or anything. It's going to roll 2 orange dice. I think actually I rolled the wrong dice for some of these earlier attacks. I think Nightingale should have. No, I think Nightingale. Nope, everything was. I think I did everything right. All right. Well, I probably didn't do everything right, but we got an 11. Rook's defense is only a 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It can do 3 more damage. Plus 1 is 4, so let's do 4 damage. That, of course, can get soaked up by all of my armor. So I'm going to exhaust my core to be able to counter. So we're going to use our 2 dice here. We get a total of 13 to counterattack this thing. We've got 13. His defense is 10, so I'm going to do 3 points of damage. Plus these 2 books are going to turn into plus 1 magic damage. So I'm going to do a total of 4 damage and heal 1, going to 10 health. Remy's going to go next. She does have more than half her health, so she's going to spend all her stamina points to move, and she's going to fly. So she can fly 6, 7, 8 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to right here. She's right next to that cave sickle. Totally fine. That's the end of her movement, and that's the end of everything. Patrick is actually just going to move up 1 next to the exit. He's not going to use the exit space yet. We're going to take our initiative cards, give him a good old truffle shuffle. Hopefully that cave sickle doesn't go. Remy or Rook are the only 2 that need to go before this cave sickle. That's all that needs to happen. All right, let's see how this goes. Patrick did not help. Rook, that's fantastic. Zeke, come on. Oh, there we go. The thing's last. This thing's so dead. Oh, it's going to be super awesome. All right, Rook is going to take out that cave sickle. He's going to roll his 2 dice and see how much damage he does to this thing. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That is 12. So that's 2 points of damage over its defense. Then I've got my 2 books. So 12, 13, or sorry, 2, 3, 4 points of damage to that cave sickle, which is going to be fantastic. It is now at 8 health that it is taken. I'm going to be able to heal 1, bringing my health to 11 on Rook, which is sweetness. It's going to be Zeke's turn. Zeke is actually just going to stand there, I guess. Remy's going to spend 2 tokens, 2 stamina tokens to attack. She's going to use her this weighted thing. Now we get to see this thing in action, and it's going to roll up real good. Nope, we got a 9. That's awesome. That's terrible. I'm going to use my Hammer Helm card to exhaust it to re-roll both of those dice and do way better. Oh, I did so much better. This thing is so dead. You get to watch this thing in action. It'll be so good. This is why I love this thing. So I'm going to do 5 over the defense. That's 5. Then I'm going to do all of these things down here. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to do 10, 11 with this, then 12 with this. So I've done 12 damage. Then I can exhaust this to do 12, 13, 14 points of damage to be able to count my books as physical attacks. That's 14 points of damage I did. I would have one-shotted this thing with the axe if I needed to. That thing is super dead, super excited. So with this thing dying, I do get to draw a combatant loot card. We have found ourselves 5 gold. That's all it had. Well, it was just kind of hanging out there. I'm going to move to there with my other stamina points. I don't have enough to be able to pick up the token yet. That's going to be the end of the turn. Now, nothing activated this turn. There was no enemies that activated, so I am going to gain an urgency token. Urgency tokens are bad. If you get too many urgency tokens, you are going to fail the mission. Now, adventures may be different, but for the general rule of urgency tokens, if you ever are going to get your 4th urgency token, your heroes are all considered defeated, and you have to read the lose condition. This may change, of course, based on some of the different adventures or rules about the adventures going forward. And of course, these are also going to be removed when the encounter is complete. I'm going to shuffle up the cards. Doesn't really matter what the cards are going to be. Actually, it kind of does matter what the cards are going to be, because if both those guys up at top move first, actually, it doesn't matter at all. Even if I draw these 2 people, or the top 2 people first, it's going to be Patrick, which actually has to go at the end. So no matter what, Patrick's at the end. One of these 2 people can activate. I'm going to flip over our token. We're going to gain this. We found a red loot token. Let's check out that. Our red loot says a barrage of darts shoot from the chest as you open it.
Maybe I should have actually checked out my initiative cards and moved Rook out of the way. But how would I know? Oh my gosh, there's bad things in chests. All figures on or within range 3 of the token must make a strength 10 check. If they fail, they are overcome with toxin and are dealt purple magic damage and are inflicted with poison. Oh my goodness, that's absolutely terrible. All right, so Remy and Rook both have to make this check. Lucky for us, this is kind of 2 of our stronger people. So Rook is going to go first. He got a 6, plus he has a total of 6, so that's 12. He's totally fine. Now, Remy only has +4, but got a 10. So neither guys are going to actually take damage or suffer any paralyzed, or oh my gosh, that's absolutely horrible. I would never have thought of that. Oh my gosh, okay, so that was super cool. We know Patrick's at the end, so Patrick's just going to step on the exit token and we are done with this encounter. And with an adventure ends their turn on a blue exit, we get to read our victory condition. So our victory condition for this one, our rewards are none. Our rewards are none. Wow. Okay, the adventure continues. We are going to go on to the Treacherous Revolt on page 108. And that is going to be read in the next video because it's just going to go right into the next encounter. There is no story moments to listen to between these encounters, so we're just going to jump into the next one. And I'm probably going to record these pretty much back to back. I've had so much fun playing this. I haven't been back to this for a long time, and I'm just having a blast. Keeping it on the table, and we're just going to keep on going. Of course, if I made any errors, please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll make sure to put a note in the video so that people can see that. On top of this, we are going to continue on, and if I do make any errors, they're probably going to proceed into the next one because I'm not going to have time to adjust them. Also, I want you to make note that at the time of this recording, Middara is having a sale on their website, so please go check out their website. I'll put a link to the description in the video so you can check that out. It's super awesome. I am excited for all the new things coming to Middara. I can't wait. I am just absolutely having a blast playing this. This is such a fun game. Oh, I love it. Okay, that's it for this adventure. I hope you enjoyed it. If you don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell symbol so you know when the next Art of Our Adventure comes out for Middara. Also, please feel free to leave anything in the comment section below. I would love to hear from everyone. Are you excited for the upcoming stuff for Middara? Are you wishing you would have got into Middara? Are you loving what you see so far? Or is this maybe not a game for you? I'd be interested to hear what you have to say. If you're interested in supporting the channel, you can join the Patreon. The link to that is also found in the description of this video. Those that have joined the Patreon are shown here on the screen. Thank you so much for your patronage. It means the world to me. Those that are part of the Patreon do get a few extra special perks. One of them is they do get to watch Colin and my playthrough, usually a day or two ahead of time. Also, in games such as this, these long campaign games, we ask for help on our Patreon page as to how to equip our characters and what potential disciplines and things we should have going forward. So if you're interested in having a say in how the games develop, please join the Patreon. So there you have it. That was a team split apart, and we are going to move into our Treacherous Revolt. I said it 9 different ways now. And if you're excited to see what's in store for us in Middara or anything else that Colin and I have coming up, then I need you to meet me at the table.